We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Tyler Snoop Huntley, Miami Dolphins' newest quarterback that they added to the roster. From the Ravens, spent this, offseason on the, Browns during the preseason. He's has a lot of experience playing as a backup for Baltimore over the years behind Lamar Jackson. And I do think, obviously you're not going to find a world beater at quarterback at this point. It's just impossible. But I do think Huntley was one of the better options for what you could have found. And to me, I think he's the best option for the Dolphins. I just think he's a better player than Skylar Thompson, all around when it comes to, decision making. I think even accuracy, he's obviously more athletic, and I think he can do some of the things the system asks for. I don't know if he's, the perfect fit for it, but you can even, add stuff that I think McDaniel could, really play to his favor. He even plays on timing, can make some nice throws. Just watching his film, the Steelers game right here, this was from last year, and he actually played this whole game. This is the only game he really played a full game of last year, and it was pretty impressive against a tough defense, some of the plays that he was able to make. And I think with the Dolphins talent, he could do some decent things. So to me, I think he's the Dolphins' best option. I don't think he'll start right away, obviously, because Skylar Thompson knows the playbook and he's going to get his chances. But I think if Skylar, puts the Dolphins in any position of harm, maybe not the first week of them playing versus Seattle, but down the line, I do think Huntley could potentially get a chance. It also depends how long Tua would be out, but I really like what Huntley could bring. Plus, I think he just brings more of an ability off script, which I think could help the Dolphins' offense out because they're such an on-script, timing-based offense. And maybe, being able to play just at a little more of an off-script pace could help them out because teams have kind of figured out some of their schematic things, so this could put them in a little more of a bind, at least in the short term. And I think Huntley actually is a pretty smart player too. I've seen him go through his progressions, processing's pretty well. Obviously he's a backup, so there will be some decisions he needs to be better, or maybe his accuracy a little off at times. But for a backup, I don't think you're gonna find too many better options. And I think he's just proven himself that he can make some nice plays in this league that I haven't quite seen from Skylar. Even though I'll be rooting for Skylar, and I'll do a video on Skylar later in the week. But here we'll start to break this down. Huntley just going through his progression, starts over here to this side of the field, reading this concept, the curl flat concept. Doesn't really like the look here, comes off of those two. Sees the tight end working over the middle. He could have pulled the trigger there, but I think he waited a little bit too long, and he sees these guys start to close on it, so he doesn't go to it. This is taken away, so he goes to his fifth person in the progression, which is the running back. Sees that it's taken away as two, so he starts to scramble. Now feels that this is going to open up just based on the leverage, and then finds the running back out there. So pretty good job there, just working through your progressions, staying poised in the pocket, and then when things start to break down, make a little bit of a play off script, stick with it, throw the ball while you're off platform. Just pretty impressive stuff there from Huntley. Here we go from, this was the last season, they were blowing out the Seahawks, and Huntley to OBJ, actually, Odell Beckham, who's obviously on the Dolphins. Just, you can see that he can make some nice throws. He has touch here. Some quarterbacks, even starters in the league who are very good, struggle with touch at time. And he just layers this over the top. Odo wins to the inside and then breaks back to the outside. And he throws with pretty good timing here because Odo's stacking the corner. He hasn't broken yet. And Huntley is starting to release it. So, he's throwing with some anticipation. Obviously, it won't be to the same anticipation that Tua had. But he showed, flashes of the anticipation here. And then he layers it over the top, floats it, and it's really good accuracy. So, I love a quarterback that's able to throw with touch. Here's another example of it in garbage time versus the Dolphins, actually, last year. Just touch, identifies the coverage, sees that, his eyes, you'll see it from the other view, but his eyes go to the safety, sees that the safety stays playing as, the middle of the field, but leaning to this side, so he knows he has this seam open, and then floats it over the second-level defenders. Somewhere where the route concept gets messed up because the tight ends are going into each other. You can see Huntley's eyes, holds it, and then, boom, floats it back over the top to the tight end. Good accuracy, hits him right in the chest. I feel like I've seen a couple misses on film, but it was never, super egregious or super often. So he'll have some misses. I think the biggest hurdle, the biggest obstacle that Huntley will have, which he goes by Snoop a lot too, so it's Tyler Huntley, but I think he gets called Snoop around the league. And Baltimore Ravens, his teammates really respect him. You could tell that they trust him when he was in there. But the biggest obstacle is just learning the playbook, because the Dolphins' playbook is very, very complicated. But I think Huntley's got some gamer to him, man. Here in the pocket, starts to the left side of the field. Doesn't really like what he's seeing. They're running mesh underneath. Steelers are running a zone match coverage, so you don't really verse mesh. You're trying to beat more of a man. But then he comes off of it, finds the running back running the rail route here, getting over the top. DB losing his footing, so he layers it over the top, lands it perfectly in the breadbasket. Perfect ball placement. The running back just couldn't hold on. But this is like another example of him being able to throw the ball over the top with some touch and accuracy down the field. I think that there's an example of that. Here's from this preseason with the Browns. I liked watching some of the Browns stuff too. I wanted to watch mostly regular season play, but in the Browns offense, you can see some flashes here of like things you would do in Miami, more of the play action. Like Dolphins will go play action under center from time to time, get around, play with, hit a deep crosser down the field to a tight end. Not exactly the Dolphins offense, but a little more flashes of it than what Baltimore would do. And I like seeing that he can, run the play action, show decent footwork in the pocket, have a decent base there, and then release with good timing, and then throw it over the top, hit your tight end in stride. Very good stuff. He definitely seems like he definitely threw to the tight end a lot on film, so could be a good thing for Johnny Smith. Hopefully, if he has to play, McDaniels watches his film and sees what he's comfortable with, and maybe add some different things to the playbook. I think they should be doing that no matter what, because the offense was so tailor-made to Tua that they can mix it up with Skylar and Tyler. Here's just like an out-breaking route, which teams definitely have been favoring the inside. So if you can have someone who can throw these outbreakers with timing, he's starting to release it as the receiver's breaking. So pretty good anticipation, timing, picking up at like 9 yards there. I like seeing this type of stuff for Huntley because I feel like some people see him and think of him as like just an athlete who can play off script. But he actually does some decent stuff for playing on script for a backup. So that's pretty nice. A little bit of a hesitation, layered throw isn't in perfect timing because you can see his first read here is 15. It gets taken away by this robber. So he hesitates, gets a little bit pump fake. It's not there. Boom, reset. Not able to step into his throw because he's people in his face, and then float over the top with great accuracy and give his receiver a chance. Like, that's really, really good work. And these are plays. This is a regular season game versus the Steelers, and he's playing this whole game, and it's a tough Steelers defense. The Ravens kind of always have a tough battle against the Steelers, and they ended up losing, I believe, but he was going out there and making some plays, and like he gives his team a chance. And I think that's all you can really ask for out of your backup that can make some plays. And I want to show this stuff because this was like the go-to. This was all over his film. Like, if he identified zone and could feel leverage and space opening up, like if the linebacker didn't, fly out here as like a hook defender, he was going to take these little, sit routes over the middle, running whatever it's stick, things like that to the tight end all day long. And I think the Dolphins should be doing more of this anyways, because Dolphins will face a lot of zone, and I think they could take some free yards on first and second down just doing this, getting this like these plays to Johnny Smith. Even if it's not like this is wide open, but even if it's like, say the linebacker's here, the DB's here, like you could still complete this and get some yards. Allows the tight end to get upfield. And this was all over the film. Huntley was very comfortable making those throws, quick decisions. Another example of identifying it, just being on the same page. Eyes goes to this linebacker. He doesn't immediately fly to this, so he just identifies the leverage. Likely sits down, boom, gets the ball out, give Likely a chance to make the guy miss, which Likely's actually has some similarities to Jonnu when it comes to after the catch. So I like seeing that. Here he is again. I think he has a very comfortability at attacking cover 3 when he sees the seam opening up. Identify middle field close safety. Stay, patient, and then boom, throw this seam route to Likely. Get the ball to him. He makes a play after the catch, scores a touchdown. So just like I feel like decent job identifying coverages. Like, he's not an ultimate processor, but like when you're getting things out of backups, like I feel like he just does it definitely at a higher level than a lot of backups do, while still like being able to be fairly accurate and make plays as a guy off script. Just another example of him feeling space, feeling leverage. He identifies right here. He sees this linebacker start to shoot down. He knows space is going to be opened up here, so he just hits the ball over the middle of the field again to a tight end. Like, you try to, bring, people, they give up space. Like, he can usually take advantage of it. Here he feels instant pressure, escape, off script, keep eyes downfield, find the receiver. This is something, obviously Dolphins don't do a ton of, but it would be nice for them to get on the same page if Huntley has to play. He'd also just make plays, get upfield. He's a good athlete. Definitely like one of the, I would say, if he had to start, like compared to other starters, he'd be one of the better athletes in the NFL. You can run zone read with him. Like, he's not like Lamar level, but he's pretty dang good. Like this type of play, just identifying what they're showing blitz here pre-snap. So he has to be ready for the blitz, be ready to get the ball quickly. He sees that, they only end up bringing 4. They have it blocked up pretty well. Eyes go to this guy. Once he's reading the leverage of this player because they're running a double slant concept. Usually you're reading that inside flat defender, whether it's zone or man. You're seeing if they squeeze this. If this guy squeezes this, you throw the slant behind it. This guy gets to the outside. You're throwing the slant as soon as he crosses the face because you don't want to let him float into the hook defender. So this is just good timing, accuracy. Him and the wide receiver being on the same page leads him upfield. Like, just really, really good work from Huntley. I like what I've seen from the most part. Just more examples of him going through his progression, identifying, what's going on here as a coverage, sees to the side of the field, nothing's there, goes back to the left, sees like the 7 stop is going to be open, and then release with good timing too. Just, again, zone over and over again. Pretty nice work there from Huntley. Play action, boot, reset your feet in the pocket, find your tight end on the cross. Love this stuff from a quarterback. Just look at him like, boom, play action, get out, sees that, bodies are in his face. He's not going to be completely able to roll out. He could have gone here too once it's pulled away, but he wants to look downfield initially because he knows he has a little bit of time. But he's able to reset his feet, sees that it's open, and deliver a quick, nice pass, allow his guy to get outfield. Like, really, really like the ability to reset the feet there outside the pocket. And then you can just see some of the athleticism, making a guy miss. Boom. Very, very comfortable, fluid, good out in space. Definitely a great athlete. And those are all the clips that I wanted to break down. But I feel if Huntley had to play, I just feel like he gives you a better chance to win games, especially with this upcoming schedule for the Dolphins. It's not the hardest. Like, there's teams that you can definitely beat. Like, if it's like, with like Seattle, Tennessee, New England, Indianapolis. Those teams, I think, are all winnable, even with backup quarterbacks. Obviously, you'd feel more comfortable with Tua. And we still don't know the timetable exactly with Tua, but it does feel more and more likely that he will be attempting to come back, but we don't know. I'm not a doctor. So it'll be interesting. I just think Huntley can give you a better chance to win before you get to that tough part of your schedule. And be in a deep enough spot. Like, if you look at around the league, like, some of these teams are in tough spots. Like, in the AFC, like, Ravens are 0-2. The Bengals are 0-2. I still feel like this is pretty wide open. Dolphins are 1-1. It's not like the season's over. It's only week 2. I think Huntley he's at least going to be fun to watch if he ends up having to play. Don't expect him right away. But it will be interesting to see how that ends up playing out. So if you guys really do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you guys next time. Peace.